kids.
Yeah.
But I take care of 5.
I have 4 kids as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah. Me and you making babies, huh?
Making babies. Who would have thought?
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, I can see where somebody won't make babies with you.
Maybe.
You gotta look like a refrigerator.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
Well, I can't get hard anymore. I'm 45 years old.
Also, my line with an angry text saying something about B90X. I said wrestling. I'm going to wrestling. Then my phone.
It is wrestling rides again. We dip in and we interview wrestlers whenever they come into our orbit, whenever we come into their orbit, and Major League Wrestling, right? In Chicago?
MLW Major League Wrestling.
Coming into Chicago, which brings this fella right here. It is Matt Riddle. I would introduce him, but I feel like anybody who's watching knows exactly who Matt Riddle is. But what's the best way to intro you right now?
I used to, when I was working at the Fed, I was the original bro.
All right, the original bro.
But now I am back to my former
King
name,
Bros.
the King of Bros.
Okay, and that's on your hat, the King of Bros.
On my hat,
Yeah.
the original design.
And I appreciate the free hat you brought me.
Yeah, I got a plethora of hats and T-shirts, so,
Okay, all right.
I used to have stickers, but no stickers, they're all sold out.
So, for question 1, what the hell you been doing?
A lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
I've been traveling, wrestling Japan, Mexico, all over the States, Canada, go to Australia soon. But just still wrestling quite a bit.
Yeah.
Some Comic-Cons there and there. Also, I had a son last December who's now 11 months old. So,
4 kids or 5?
I got 4 kids.
Yeah.
And I take care of 5.
I have 4 kids as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Me and you making babies, huh?
Making babies. Who would have thought?
I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, I can see where somebody won't make babies with you.
Maybe.
You gotta look like a refrigerator.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
Well, I can't get hard anymore. I'm 45 years old.
Yeah.
So sorry, I told you. I apologize.
I get it.
Fine.
I understand.
Speaking of hard, I do want to bring up this one.
Please.
I wanted to talk to you about this. How come I can't find your Twitter right when I need to? So
Super King of Bros.
I know who you are. There you are.
Yeah.
So Matt Riddle, you tweeted last week. Do you remember tweeting last week? Yeah. Life is short. Eat dessert first.
Eat dessert first.
So yeah,
I did a photo shoot.
You did a photo shoot. I'll have the guy, the producer, just drop it in right here. I have it on my phone.
Yeah, drop it.
Walk me through these pictures right here.
Yeah, those are some pictures. I was feeling myself. And I have a friend who's a photographer, and they were helping. Lee, he's on there. Lee Kane, I think he tagged in there.
Sure.
He took the photos, and I figured post that. I took him a minute ago. Figured I'd post it, and of course, whenever I post anything like that, the internet,
Right.
they get thirsty. They get thirsty for the bro, and yeah.
Do I have your permission to take the same photo of myself and tweet it out?
You have all the permission in the
right.
world. I would never stop you from your dreams and your destiny, and I think you could probably pull it off better.
Your ab game getting pretty good.
I was talking to Sean on the way here about the ab game, and I'm like, I don't know why people just don't get abs. Like, it's
impossible. It's fucking impossible.
It's a golden, but once you get them, it's a golden ticket.
Yeah, sure. Once you get them, it's like saying, man, I don't know why more people aren't millionaires. Yeah, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but you can't just do it.
That's true. I would like to be a millionaire.
Oh, you want to have like that?
Close.
You touch millionaires?
Almost. Yeah, actually, I was for a second. But yeah, I've had the abs ever since I was a little kid. I got lucky, and my parents were, they're a little bigger. They bought a bunch of workout equipment, but nobody used it but me. I reaped the benefits.
What were your DMs like after posting these pictures?
I really don't look at the DMs. I kind of ignore the DMs unless I see something that maybe like an interview or a business connection or something like that. I try to stay out of trouble. You go in the DMs, and the DMs I get are pretty. People aren't pretty filtered with me. They come straight for the jugular, or me, or however you want to word it. But they come hungry and they come hard.
I'll stay right there. Okay, yeah, they come hard at you. Sure.
It helps ticket sales. We are sold out.
Yeah. Okay. So people coming hard at you is help ticket sales.
Dude, I don't think it hurts.
Yeah, it never does.
I think it helps the YouTube views.
How is your relationship with the internet these days?
The internet, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
It can go either way. I think some people are very high on me, some would say. Some people despise me. But I think a lot of times when you're in the world of professional wrestling or even entertainment, good or bad, positive or negative, I think that's good. The one thing you don't want is nothing.
Indifference.
Like, if nobody said anything, then I'd be like, oh. But even people retweeting me complaining, you're still retweeting me on your page and complaining about it. And then people complain, but you're still talking about it. And there's a bunch of people that do like it. So, I think as long as people are talking and, that's kind of what we do, right? We get people.
Hello, Moto.
Talk and think fights are real and etc.
I have had many questions for you over the years,
Sure.
and this is the first time I've actually seen you in person since 2021. We were both at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
We talked back then a little bit, not much.
Far off the strip too.
Yeah,
Nice place.
That's exactly right. We were 10 miles. We were out in Henderson.
Yeah.
We were at our own hotel out there. Y'all had to drive way out.
We did, but it was worth the drive.
Good time.
Talks.
And we talked really extensively about Howard the Duck.
Yeah, one of the greatest films ever created.
Seamus had multiple whiskeys as we talked.
Yeah, Seamus is Irish. That's like water to him.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't damn it. But he's Irish. But Howard the Duck, classic.
I'm a little older than you, but I never really got into Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
I was aware of it. I think I rented it one time, started it, didn't like it.
Well,
It's a classic to you.
I think it's a classic, and we owned it on VHS.
Sure.
So
Remember owning shit on VHS?
it was a good time.
That was a game changer.
It was a game changer, and that's the thing. A lot of movies I just rented for a day or two, the 48-hour video or ET video, whatever it was. But we owned Howard the Duck. We also owned RoboCop, and those were two go-tos. Another one was Willow.
Willow, sure, yeah.
Warwick Davis, guy's a legend,
Willow had a good Nintendo game.
Yes,
I think we had the Nintendo game.
I will jam out on some Willow.
Yeah.
I got an arcade at my house with all the Phantom arcades. The guy's a stud. But I have an arcade with all the Super Nintendo, you name it, and I dabbled into Willow.
Can I say something?
Please.
I have one of those as well. Somebody made me an arcade and has all of them, and mine broke about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And you're gonna fix it, you think?
Yeah, my guy could definitely fix it. My guy,
Yup.
yeah, dude, he hooked me up, dude. But I had to get mine fixed because because my kid spilled soda
That's exactly what happened to me.
So he's bringing me a new panel.
We were playing Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and they just spilled it all over.
Dude, yeah, they're very sensitive to. There's a reason why they say no drinks in the arcade.
Yeah, right. They were right back then. Remember arcades? Remember going to arcades?
They're like, why so strict?
Yeah.
Like,
Because you're gonna ruin the fucking machine.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have the arcades kids got these days. You know, you take your kids to them. You go in, all they're trying to do is get tickets so they can spend 900 tickets to get a piece of gum. Not back then. We had fucking Street Fighter, and we had all these games you could line up and play.
Well, now it's like you got those games on your home, on your TV.
Yeah, you got them. But I just every time I take my kids to an arcade these days, they just want to say, give them a card, and they just go spin this thing so they get tickets. Spin it, they get tickets. That's not playing a game.
I don't think so. Or the claw game,
The claw game.
It's not a real game.
It's fucking bullshit.
I was a Mortal Kombat guy in the arcade.
Who's your Mortal Kombat character?
Oh, I was good with Sub-Zero, but that's you got the ice, back in the day.
I was a Scorpion guy.
Scorpion was good, and I was a Liu Kang.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, please. Bicycle kick.
Bicycle kick. You had the dash kick, the fireball. And I still dabble in the combat's immortal.
Yeah. I'll be goddamn.
Yes, sir.
Wrestling barefoot.
Yeah, I do it.
I think that's fucking crazy.
It is, and if you talk to most people that have wrestled, it's really fucking crazy.
Have you ever donned boots? Have you ever tried?
When I first started, I wore wrestling shoes, and I was gonna get boots, but then I looked at the price of wrestling boots, and I was like, that's not for me. I think I can do something barefoot. And I started off even wearing wrestling shoes, but I noticed when I wore shoes, I wouldn't take balls. It's also why I don't wear knee pads or elbow pads. I would take bumps and balls certain ways, and I was laying on my knees or my. I can't really make any mistakes when I'm taking slams or balls or executing moves. Also, when I kick people and knee people, there's a little more believability because there's no cushion. Put a cushion.
Do you remember? I got you. Do you remember barefoot punters? Back in football, they used to be barefoot. I feel like barefoot punters are gone. Barefoot everything's gone. I think you're the last barefoot guy.
I'm one of the last. There's got to be. Actually, I might be. There's like one other wrestler that's barefoot, but he wears shin pads. He's not completely bare.
Yeah, I feel like if you were wrestling right now, I think it'd be an even match. I think you should step on your toes.
Funny story. The toes have no feeling.
What toes have no feeling?
Yeah, I got frostbite on them when I was a child, and when I was visiting Wisconsin in the winter, and I was like, some Vans sneakers and played outside all day, and then got some frostbite on the toes, and then I lost feeling, and like the skin surface. If I break my foot, I'll feel it.
Yeah.
Like when I kick or slap or whatever,
there's
nothing. So stop on the foot unless you really. And I find the UFC where people stomp on my feet all the time.
So you got numb feet.
I got numb feet, but if we're in a match, and that's the story. I'll sell it.
I'm gonna ask a question right now. You answer however you want to answer it, or tell me to go fuck myself.
Sure.
What world is more full of bullshit? The wrestling world or the MMA world?
Well, I think the wrestling world is definitely full of bullshit, but it's also professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Like any minute, any hour, anything could change, and you're on live TV multiple times a week. So with that, you have that. I would say with fighting, it's bullshit in the sense of, but it's all the same. The more value you have, the more flexibility and freedom you have, and so it's all the same. Money talks, bullshit walks.
Can I share a secret with you?
Please.
I work at Barstool Sports. It's full of bullshit.
Yeah.
And if you work at like Wendy's or McDonald's, your workplace is full of bullshit.
Guaranteed.
I think we're all full of bullshit.
I would imagine it's all full of bullshit.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on the bullshit you like. I like fighting and wrestling, and even though there's bullshit involved, the juice is worth the squeeze. The end result is what I want.
If you compare your highs in wrestling and your highs in MMA, what do you think felt higher?
I would say probably the wrestling. I find some pretty big arenas on pay-per-views in the UFC, like where I got submission the night at UFC 149 Calgary. That was like the Stampede Arena at the time, and it was packed. Like it was huge. But when you do like WrestleMania in Dallas, right? Where I think you were telling me a story where I threw my hat.
So WrestleMania 38, I believe, was in Dallas. Me and my daughter, who's a huge fan, we were sitting on the 5th row, and you and Randy were in a tag match against somebody. I don't remember who it was. Triple threat. You guys were the first ones out. You guys were the first ones out. I believe it was the first match of night 2.
Yes.
And then you two were the actual first participants. And you came up to me, you threw your hat. That hat frisbeed. We were in the middle. It went all the way to the right and came back, hit my daughter square in the chest. She was 13 years old at the time. She wasn't even looking. She was looking over here and went bang, and you looked down, and Matt Riddle's hat was right there. So she called your hat at WrestleMania. That was a really special memory for her.
That's awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
That's tight.
And I remember vividly looking in the ring and looking at you, and you were apologizing to a fan. I think you were trying to throw it to. You were like, sorry, I can't control the hat.
Yeah. The fans get wild. Also, I think when you're talking, when you're entertaining, like say a stadium full of people at WrestleMania, you're looking out into the crowd, right?
Yeah.
But there's like 15, 20,000 people on that one side, and they all think you're looking at that.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So some feelings can get hurt ringside.
About 75,000 people in the building.
But you got to think about those are good odds for your daughter to catch that.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of the Beckham curve.
Yeah. She had a good trip. That was the only thing she caught something else from somebody. No, she got a high five from Becky Lynch.
So that's pretty tight. Becky Lynch is good.
Yeah. 2023, September 2023 is when you got released from WWE.
Yes.
We're now in November of 2024. You got a huge match this weekend for MLW. But are you happy these days? Everything going good for you?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, my schedule is a lot more loose, and like my own boss now. For so long I was like an independent contractor. We were WWE, but I was like still an employee there, and kind of like the UFC. I feel like now it's like my first time as like a free agent, and with a lot of value behind my name, having done the WrestleManias and having the tag team in RK Bro and working at MLW and doing all these things, plus with the UFC background and being on the Ultimate Fighter and everything. I've been on like TV and doing things probably for like over a decade. You know, so I think it adds up and it has some good value, and I've been able to travel, wrestle, and still make a really good living and have fun. And also branch out to other industries like the cannabis industry and like California. I got the Riddle OG going, plus other strains coming out like the Riddle Skittles and all sorts of stuff. So, but it's good stuff I couldn't do before. Well, now I can do it and kind of have different avenues and things like that.
You didn't bring me a hat and you didn't bring me weed.
Well, I flew here.
That's true. Okay, fair enough. All the hats on here.
Don't ride. Well, the hats. I got
no, the weed. Yeah.
The weed. I can't ride dirty with that.
You mentioned Randy Orton. I mean, that's obviously a huge legacy you had in WWE with RK Bro, and how much fun that was, and how much when it started, people thought my last 3 weeks, my last 4 weeks, they're gonna eventually lead the match, and just kept going and kept turning and kept being interesting and fun. How much fun was that with Randy?
It was. Me and Randy at one point said. Randy told me when we were doing it, it was the most fun he's ever had in his career, and honestly, it was definitely some of the best times, if not the best times of my career. Me and Randy we had chemistry. We were boys in the back. We liked the same things. We played the same video games. We just had a connection, and then our in the ring relationship, we just worked very well together. And I was like a hype man, but he would hype me up, and we just played off each other very well. And before we actually wrestled a full match, Randy wasn't a huge fan of me. I think I guess he thought I was disrespectful because I had my headphones on, and he came to the locker room, but he was shaking everybody's hand. I didn't want to be like a nerd or like go.
Yeah, a fanboy.
didn't want to do that, so I was like, I gave him a nod.
Yeah.
I was waiting for my chance to shake his hand, but I guess he took that as disrespect.
You were blowing him off.
Yeah, and I wasn't. And then later on, I did a promo with Oscar where I forgot my lines.
Yeah.
I had like this long segment about talking about robots in Japan, and I forgot. It was, and
so it wasn't planned that you were forgetting.
no, I forgot it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know we were live. I thought we were recording. And when I did that, I was like, oh no, like I'm probably in trouble. And when I went to the locker room, first person that said anything was Randy. And he goes, I don't know if that shit was planned, kid, but that's the funniest shit you've done since you've been here. That was your best promo yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, at least Randy liked it. And then Vince and Bruce and everybody else that was in creative also enjoyed it.
I went to a SmackDown a couple of months ago when they were in Chicago, and Randy was a big featured part. I was sitting on the front row and he walked right by me. You seen Randy? He's thick.
Dude,
He got some reach on thighs on him.
Dude, yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He definitely thickened up. He looks good though.
Yeah, he's eating dessert first.
He looks strong. He does. He does eat dessert for sure. Dude, Randy's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's like 6'6", and he's not skinny.
Is he as cool as I fucking think he is?
He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool, man.
Okay.
He's a good guy.
Good.
I'll say this: if you ask him for a picture in the airport,
It ain't happening?
it's not gonna be that cool.
Okay,
He's
all right.
there.
I've seen wrestlers in the airport. I always say they're going to work, leave them alone. That's what I say at the airport.
I'd say anybody with his status and what he's been through and stuff, wrong place.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, what if you see a wrestler like at the mall, at the grocery store? Is that cool? Walking down the sidewalk, hotel.
I mean, if you see me anywhere, it'd be cool. You know,
You're fine with the airport?
I'm fine wherever, dude. I really don't care. You know, if I make your day by doing this, if somebody's rude, I'll be like, hey, don't be rude. You know, like if somebody brings me like 20 of my cards to sign at the airport,
Then they're
probably gonna be
that's
like,
an
I'll sign like 2. You know, I know you're gonna probably flip these on. I'm not trying to hurt your business, but people pay me to sign stuff. You know.
I want to say something right now. Today is November 8th, 2024.
Yeah.
You are still wearing your Halloween nail polish.
I am.
It's orange and black. So,
Yeah.
are we having plans to change? Because I don't want to put your business on the streets but you're also wearing that as toe polish. You have your toes.
I do. I keep them clean. You know, my toes. You know, fresh mani pedi.
Yeah.
You know, I usually get the paraffin wax, a little orange scrub with some exfoliant things and lotion.
You're taking me through a manicure right now?
Yeah, that's just the pedicure.
Oh, okay.
I do the same with the manicure, a little massage on the calves and feet.
Right.
You know, you get a little TLC, and I keep them clean. You know. Also, I feel like with all the wrestling barefoot and stuff like that, kind of builds like a little armor. You know.
Yeah, like a callus.
A little callus.
I'm
That's the word.
going to get into MLW in a second.
Please.
I have one more question, though.
Yeah.
Just saw where it was announced that Goldberg will have his retirement match in 2025. That's exciting.
Whoa, good for him.
That's exciting, isn't it?
Good for him.
Would
Yeah.
you love to be a part of that?
Well, maybe. You know, I don't think he wants to step up to the plate. You know, we're keeping it real.
Did y'all ever straighten out?
Well, me and Bill, we've talked. We were actually on a flight from Saudi. We were on a Saudi show, like one of the Crown Jewels, and we're flying back. And we had some cocktails, and we had some discussion. You know, I don't think there's any bad blood. I think he has more of an understanding of where I was coming from. Yeah, you know, I definitely have an understanding of where he's coming from, and like why he finds what I say disrespectful and things like that. I completely understand. I don't mean it that way. We're professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
I'm just spitting facts, and I can back it up. And this is just what it is, you know. I think a lot of people, you know, other people in WWE took that as disrespect. But it's like, dude, if you fought in the UFC and then you're now in the WWE, what am I supposed to like just forget my whole career?
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude, like I can stretch like 98%. Because, you know, Brock's pretty big and Bobby Lashley's pretty big.
Yeah.
Neither are shabby at mixed martial arts either. You know.
Yeah, no, I know.
So, but I would say pretty handy with the, you know.
Yeah, you don't have to carry yourself.
I sure do.
I think if I had your credentials, if I was you, and I was a professional wrestler at the top of the sport and also very skilled, I would talk more shit. I would talk shit constantly.
Yeah.
I would never not talk shit. I would talk shit to that guy on the couch. Fuck you, guy on the couch. Whip your fucking ass.
Dude, I agree, but these guys, especially like say a Bill Goldberg,
Yeah.
a guy like me talks that trash, they know my background, and then they kind of get like upset, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause it's not,
Who's this guy to say you kick my ass? I play football.
I've been doing this for years,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just talking shit,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
There's nothing wrong with talking shit.
it's the same thing in fighting, though. Like, people talk shit in fighting, and half the time they're just spending shit to get ticket sales, and that's what you do. And not saying you don't mean some of it, you're having fun, and part of it is the more real you can make it, even with fighting or via pro wrestling. Like, say me and Seth, when, you know, I was going through a divorce, and then Seth called that out, and they, like, I told him to say that because I knew that would just be like, everybody would be like, oh my god, that's real, and you can't believe he said that on live TV.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, he really wants to kill him, you know? And it just, that's what we do.
I still think I would really want to do it. I like this way to be went sideways. You could whip my ass, no problem. And you should wear that as a badge of honor.
Thank you.
Because if I can whip your ass, I tell you, but I can't.
Exactly, right? And there's no harm. Like, if I run into a guy, if I'm running into a heavyweight fighter or somebody I know that could probably smash me,
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, dude, this guy, just like I said, Brock, Bobby Lashley,
Yeah.
probably gonna get.
Right, yeah.
He's a definite,
Yeah.
you know, he's always a chance.
But there's an acknowledgement of reality. Those are some big bad
Those are
motherfuckers.
big bad dudes that are high-level wrestler, mixed martial artists, and, you know, they're good.
Let's talk MLW.
Yes, sir.
Because this weekend, you're in Chicago and you're wrestling Minoru Suzuki.
Yes.
Legend.
Legend.
Also, he's gonna
mixed martial
tear your chest the fuck up.
artist. Yeah, maybe. I'm pretty durable, you know, these boyish good looks, you know, I can take it and give it, you know?
I was never gonna say boyish good looks.
Well,
You said it.
it's already out. You know,
Can't hide it, can you?
take it or leave it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
But yeah, Minoru Suzuki, we dabbled in the ring a couple times, but never in an MLW ring. We were supposed to wrestle last one, but the Hurricanes messed that up. So now I get him in Chicago. And I'm pretty stoked.
So Shane Helms messed that up.
The Hurricane, yeah, that guy. I could shout out to Shane Helms though. Good guy.
Yeah, is he?
Good guy.
I didn't know that. I should be
Yeah, dude. Good guy. Funny.
Yep.
You know, he makes.
He chose this show then because I'm clearly failing at it.
No, you're doing great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think you're hilarious.
So let's take me. I don't know. You know, well, I'm wearing Garfield socks. Do you like Garfield?
I like Garfield. You like spaghetti, right?
Oh my god, man, come on. It's not spaghetti. He likes lasagna.
It's Italian, dude. It's all.
He hates Mondays. He loves lasagna. Yeah, watch out. The shoes are shit. Don't worry about that.
Holy shit.
Take me into MLW though. Obviously, you did somewhere that you've been in your career. Now you're in a different phase of your career. You're in a different phase of MLW. How's it going?
It's going great. You know, I'm the number one contender for the championship there. You know, I get to kind of pick my shot. Won the Battle Riot. You know, which was 80-man battle royal or 40-man. It was huge. Had to beat a lot of people.
40. Where did you get 80? How the hell are 80 men going to fit in a battle royal?
When you're in the ring.
That's the whole fucking
When you're in the ring, bro, the lights are on. It's
Yeah,
intense.
might as well be 80.
You get rocked. Dude, it felt like 80. It felt
Hey,
like
I'm not trying to tell MLW how to do their business. I'm not.
You know, you just.
80-man battle royals down the table.
It's like a kingpin. You know, you got to go. You know, not just play one game. You got to do a game and a half. You have to do everything plus a little.
Sure.
more.
Everything's a little bit more, a little bit extra.
So I'm the number one contender, so that's tight. And MLW, well, we also have a lot of talent from Japan, like Minoru Suzuki. We have a lot of talent from Mexico that work a lot with CMLL. And the caliber of wrestling is through the roof, and it's very diverse. You know, we got everybody from all over the world, Canadians, Americans.
How's your style fitting in that?
Well, my style is, you know, definitely a hybrid. It's a mixed martial arts style with definitely a little flair there and there. But I would say definitely with MLW, I've kind of got back to my roots where mostly just beating people up.
Yeah.
You know, WWE was
not really the carefree that you
Oh, I'm always carefree and cool and chill, but then once that bell rings, it's intensity, and I try to put the beats on people. It's just a little more intense, you know?
So I believe, if I'm hearing right, MLW has a show in New York, I believe, in December, correct? So you got December 5th. Thank you very much. Thank God you brought him.
Yeah.
I'm not, nobody else could have done this.
I'm not good with dates, you know?
December 5th, you're in New York, MLW's in New York. I think you're coming back to Chicago at some time. So MLW's all over. I think the show's sold out here in Chicago, so obviously business is good. It seems good.
Yeah, we got a show in, Texas. We got one in New York, another one here May 10th. Yeah, dude, we're traveling over. A lot of time we're in Florida. So traveling with that and just the relationships with other companies lets me kind of navigate waters and work all around the world as well.
I want to talk about the scooter.
The scooter, yeah.
Is that your idea or somebody else's?
You know, it wasn't my idea. I actually suggested a dirt bike, you know?
That's so much more badass.
Dude, I know.
Fucking dirt bike kid, Matt Riddle.
I had an idea of the dirt bike, and Vince was in, complete control at that time, and he's like, a scooter.
Vince, you fucking...
And then I go, what about a skateboard? But then everybody in AEW was doing skateboards, so I didn't do that.
Can I say something about wrestlers who do skateboards?
Please.
Skateboards are too easy to fuck up on.
Yeah, oh, dude, they're not easy.
And
then the ramps.
All ramps are built different.
They're built different. They have different. Dude, even the first time I did WrestleMania against Sheamus,
That's a long-ass fucking ramp.
and I rode the ramp, and it was downpouring in Tampa the whole week. Dude, Mandy Rose slipped on that ramp.
Yeah.
Riding down that ramp and getting like full speed.
Did you get like really high speed?
Dude, decent. Can't hit the brake on the wet carpet.
Well, how did you stop?
Dude, just luck, being a stallion.
Okay, yeah, that's being a stallion. That's a good answer for
Yeah,
everything.
that's part of my
How
life.
was your day? Well, fuck, I was being a stallion.
Most of the day.
What do you do?
Most of the day.
The scooter was a question I had because, I mean, you can be an MMA fighter, the toughest, baddest motherfucker of all time. You can stick somebody's face in the dirt. You could be Bobby Lashley. You come out on a scooter.
They give me a scooter.
You come out on a scooter. It kind of limits what we're doing here. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but you know what the crazy thing is? I agree with that. But the kids love the
kids
scooter.
love it.
And
The kids buy shit.
The kids buy scooters. They buy merchandise. And I think the scooter was I still go to shows, and they're like, hey, can you ride? Like, people pay me extra to ride the scooter.
Yeah.
Like, I'll ride it. Just get a kid out there happy.
Yeah.
I'll ride it.
Let's go back to the dirt bike, though, because now you're on your own. Nobody's telling you what to do.
Oh,
Let's get a dirt
I
bike.
rode a dirt bike out to the ring the other day.
What would be the douchiest thing to ride? A golf cart. Imagine a wrestler coming to the ring
I
like a golf cart.
used to. But
Really?
teaming up with Pete Dunne as the Broserweights, and we were NXT we were challenging for the titles, and we won them.
Yeah.
And I take over in Portland against Undisputed, and but we had the Broserweight mobile, and it was a golf cart.
How was Pete done? He looks like he smells.
But he does have it's the spray tan. He does. A lot of the English guys do the spray tan.
All right, now that you've opened that Pandora's box, you have to look around the locker room sometimes. Sure. Wherever you are, you have to be like, dude, chill with the spray tans.
I do. I'm a natural tan kind of guy.
Do you know MJF?
I do.
I mean, fuck, come on with the tan.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say anything disparaging about MJF.
I'm not either.
But he has. But a lot. You know what it is? A lot of the guys are afraid of using tanning beds or tanning because of skin. Skin cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of them
Your balls do.
or wrinkles. The sun.
Yeah.
The sun shrinks your balls.
Yeah. Does it?
My balls are huge.
Really? Big balls.
They're decent.
Good for you.
They're a handful.
Good for
I
you.
get compliments.
I got tiny little balls.
Really?
Yeah.
That probably makes the hogs
Spider balls
bigger.
No, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
You'd be
That was my only regret with having pretty sweet balls. It's like
it takes away from the penis.
I would imagine the tighter the sack, the bigger the.
You think there's only so much skin to go around down there?
I think a lot of it's an optical illusion.
I don't know a whole lot about the penis balls, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have a
Got
couple.
a set.
Yeah, I've had them my whole life, so I didn't really have to buy them.
Oh, dude. I get it.
So you're doing
pro wrestling, dude.
You're doing Mexico and all that shit, huh?
Yeah, I travel quite a bit. I wrestle in Florida too. That's where I reside now.
Yeah.
But a lot of time I'm in more demand in other places throughout the world, and very beneficial. Usually MLW doesn't run like the same venue every month. We travel and go to different places and meet different fans and people.
How you doing away from the ring? You good? You happy? Everything good?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Good. MLW traveling, and so there's no like set place that's just like this is MLW's home or whatever.
No.
I mean, there are a lot of people watching might not be that familiar with MLW.
No,
there's no scope of what it is.
Yeah, MLW Major League Wrestling. They've been around for a minute, and they travel. We usually do a double taping every month, 2 shows a month, and we go on YouTube live, and then we'll have another show go live a couple weeks later. And it's just a lot of the top talent in the world from Japan, Mexico, and all over Canada, all over the world. And we try to put the best matches on possible and have the best show. And we have a pretty good, and everything's very consistent. It's probably definitely the most professional place I've worked. With like say working with UFC, working with WWE, working with all those places. MLW is probably one of the most professional places that I've worked. Even with New Japan and everything else.
You mentioned that Randy Orton and you played the same video games.
We do.
What video games you playing?
Well, at the time when we were a team in Elden Ring,
Really?
was the jam.
Now,
we were going back. Yeah, please.
That seems like something nerds would play. And I don't think you or Randy Orton is a nerd.
Yeah, well, you know what? I would say this: when you travel as much as we do, and like I play Call of Duty Zombies too. You got the Black Ops 6, jamming out on that.
Sure.
But when you're traveling as much as we do, you kind of need a game to really fill that time.
Yeah.
You don't want something that's that repetitive. And Elden Ring at that time, with us traveling all over the world, was the perfect fit. And there was other guys on the roster playing it too, so we get to different parts and we tell each other how we beat this part. And it was fun. And then Randy actually talked to like a Chinese hacker online and got a bunch of spirits or points sent to his player. It was a real stallion move.
Yeah, fucking Randy Orton.
Dude, I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
He did it.
Take me through the next. I know what's happening now. Take me through the next 3 years, 5 years from now. What does it look like?
The future?
Yeah, that would be the next 3 to 5 years. The future could really mean anything. Maybe 100 years. I don't know. Maybe robots are wrestling.
Well, the future, I think it's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I'm still wrestling, but I've also been considering fighting again.
Yeah.
And I still got in the tank. I train a couple times a week, and I think I'm just waiting for the right time and opportunity because I'm still wrestling so much. I'm in such demand with that. It's kind of hard to like separate that. So I'm kind of just waiting for the wrestling to start to fade a little bit.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, I'll just keep wrestling.
If you're in professional wrestling and that's what you're doing for the next 6 months, I assume you live, you train a certain way. How does that change if you say, all right, well, in 6 months I want back in the octagon, I want back in the MMA ring? What changes for you?
I think right now, the way I work out, I train to be in good shape to like do my job professional wrestling. Well, I feel like with fighting, there's a lot more to it. Like say like certain parts of your body, I'm gonna have to like recondition again, so I don't like feel like I'm being crushed.
Like abuse for beating and stuff.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to get beat up a little bit. But it's the same as like when you lift weights for like a month and a half, and then you quit lifting for 2 or 3 weeks, and you lift again, you're sore again, right?
Yeah.
When you're lifting consistently, you're not as beat up. Then
you build yourself up.
So I feel like that'd be a process, and then that's really it. I stay pretty in good shape. Even when I was in the UFC, I would take fights on 2 weeks' notice, 1 week notice all the time because I always stay in pretty good.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, I run like sprints all the time. I do interval training and do circuit training, lifting pretty heavy weights and stuff like that. Plus, I probably spar people and do jiu-jitsu a couple times a week.
All right. Well, MLW obviously this weekend in Chicago, which I think is coming out afterwards, but we'll get you a couple social clips. I think.
Yeah.
But MLW this weekend. MLW is going to be in New York December 5th. MLW is you're affiliated with them, going all around doing.
Yeah.
You're everywhere, and it was good to catch up with you.
Yeah, it was great. I know since Vegas.
Yeah, 3 years ago, I believe.
I won the tag team championships that weekend in Las Vegas.
That's right. You guys beat Omos and AJ Styles to open at SummerSlam. I think maybe a second.
We do good at the beginning of shows.
Yeah. No, it was y'all were great openers because everybody fucking loves watching y'all come out and everything. I remember that vividly. You guys winning that match at SummerSlam, and of course we had the interview with me, you and Sheamus, and a couple other guys, but whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. And Howard the Duck was your favorite movie then? RoboCop you mentioned. Any other favorite movies?
I got the T-shirt on.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness, or the Evil Dead franchise period.
Yeah.
Like horror guy, like horror movies.
I'm not a horror guy.
No.
I like being scared.
What do you like? Comedies?
I like sports movies and comedies.
Sports movies.
Yeah.
Not a big sports movies.
I am.
Like Mighty Ducks.
Of course I like Mighty Ducks. I like D2 the Mighty Ducks. I like them all.
Yeah, D3.
All the top. Well, D3 fell off bad. D2 the Mighty Ducks. You're telling me that this little municipal team, Airbud, sure, got 17 fetch, golden receiver, all that. But D2 the Mighty Ducks, right? So you have this little municipal team that wins a local league, and in the next movie, they're fucking Team USA, like where the entire Team USA, and then to supplement Team USA, build around this team, we go get an ice skater who's never played hockey, we get a rodeo cowboy who's never played hockey, we get a goalie off the streets. What happened to youth hockey in this country that's our Team USA? Iceland is our enemy?
This was the 90s. That's how great teams
I hate the best.
They got cool runnings. That was a team of dudes.
Jamaica, yeah.
You know, bobsled team.
The Riddle, it was bobsled time.
It was a decade of people, you know.
It was a fucking awesome decade.
Yeah, people were breaking out of the box. Rodeo guys were trying to be hockey players, you know.
That's right.
It was a good time.
I wish you'd have to go watch D2 the Mighty Ducks.
Maybe.
It'd be nice.
You know.
Anyway, Matt Riddle, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming around. Make sure you're checking them out. Super King of Bros on Twitter. Any other social media to pop up?
Riddle Bro on the Instagram,
Yeah.
Super King of Bros on Twitter, and of course you can catch me on MLW on YouTube at youtube.com/MLW.
Oh, goddamn, that makes sense. All right, that's Matt Riddle, and this has been Wrestling.